A good cloud DVR is pretty much a must-have if you stream live TV. I mean, if you're a functional adult, you can't be glued to your couch and catch every game, every episode, every live musical special, whatever it is that you're into. So the DVR is vital since it lets you record all that stuff for later and even fast forward through the commercials sometimes. And that's the thing, not all DVRs are created equal. So if a good DVR is important to you, which live TV streaming service is the one you should go with? Well, today we're taking 6 of the most popular services and ranking them strictly by the quality of their DVR. I'm sure this won't be controversial at all. Let's dive in. Alright, you know what to do. If this video is helpful or informative or entertaining in some way, then hit that like button for me and don't forget to subscribe. Alright, in our DVR ranking today, we have, like I said, 6 streaming services. Sling TV, AT&T TV Now, and AT&T TV, we'll get to that in a second, YouTube TV, Hulu with live TV, Philo, and Fubo TV. Okay, now we're mostly going to talk about the differences between them and how that makes them rank the way that they do. But there are some common characteristics among all of them. They all include some version of a free DVR. Sometimes that's all included in the price. Sometimes there's a premium version that you have to pay extra for. Generally speaking, they let you watch on the go. So if you record it on your TV, you can watch it on your tablet or whatever, wherever you have that app downloaded. Storage is shared across profiles on a single account. So if you get a certain amount of storage allowed, that's not per profile, that is per account. And finally, something that you run into often with a lot of these services is that not all channels and not all shows are available to record. They're constantly cutting deals with different channels, different programs, and so this one is a little bit tough to track. So I did not factor this one in. But let's get to what I was able to factor in. Let's get to the ranking. Starting with number 6, Sling TV. Yes, it is at the bottom of the list here. Now, the good news is there's no time limit on how long you can keep your recordings. You can keep them indefinitely as long as you're subscribed to the service. And although they do charge extra for their premium DVR, it's only a $5 charge, so not a huge burden. But that being said, it's kind of a you get what you pay for scenario. The included DVR only lets you record 10 hours, and the premium version only gives you 50 hours. I'm sorry, but that's just not enough, although it is enough to earn the bottom spot. And speaking of storage space, that brings me to number 5, Hulu with live TV. Now the good news here is that it also has no time limits on retaining your recordings. Again, that is a genuine plus. Your stuff doesn't disappear after a month or whatever. On the other hand, Hulu Live is another pay for premium service. So you can get the free version, but that'll let you record 50 hours, or you can pay an extra $10 a month to get up to 200 hours. As we move up the rankings, it's gonna become clear that 200 hours still isn't much, at least comparatively speaking. And on top of all that, if you don't pay for the premium version, you can't skip the commercials. Yikes. So the increased storage capacity, it does put Hulu ahead of Sling, but only just barely. Number 4 is AT&T TV, or AT&T TV Now. I'm kind of lumping both of these together because the DVR works the same either way. The good news is that from here on out on the list, the DVR is included in the price of the service. And that goes for both AT&T TV and AT&T TV Now. Boy, that is hard to say. Also nice is that our storage capacity in this case jumps up to 500 hours. Okay, so now we're getting into territory where you might be able to have more than one profile, saving a decent amount of stuff. Unfortunately, you can only keep those recordings for 90 days. And this is all attached to services with some confusing packages and pricing. Now, I know, I am trying to keep this to just the DVR, but still, AT&T TV's pricing structure, especially, smells way too much like an old cable or satellite service to make me comfortable. So, moving on. Number 3 is Philo. If Philo is your jam, and you can watch my full review right up there to find out, then the good news is that Philo is only $20 a month. And I'm not talking about the DVR either. The entire service is only $20 a month, and the DVR is included in that price. Not bad. And on top of that, there is no storage cap. That's right, unlimited recording on Philo. The bad news here is that you can only keep those recordings for 30 days. So if you do record it, you'd better watch it quick. But while that is a downside, I'm genuinely impressed with Philo's DVR, and it almost made my number 2 slot. But instead, number 2 goes to Fubo TV. Fubo is more of a full-service live streamer, so you're gonna have to pay more for it than Philo, quite a bit more. But the DVR is also included in the bundles you pay for. The family package, which is their basic one, runs $65 a month and gets you 250 hours of recording. If you bump up to the elite package for a whopping $80 a month, you get 1,000 hours of recording. Yeah, nice. In either case, you get to keep those recordings as long as you are subscribed. No 30-day time limit here. And that's what bumped Fubo up to my number 2 spot. And finally, number 1, YouTube TV. And frankly, it's not really that close. If there's a downside to YouTube TV's DVR, it's that you can only keep recordings for 9 months. So yes, there is a limit, but that limit is long enough that, in my experience, it caused little to no problem. And on the upside, well, the DVR is included in the price of the service. There's no limit to the amount that you can record, and because of that, you can maintain separate DVR libraries for up to 6 different profiles on your account. So yeah, like I said, it wasn't that close. But I want to know what you think of my ranking. Obviously, my number 1 is unassailable. But let's argue about the rest of the list. Like I said, I almost had Philo a little higher and Hulu a little lower, so tell me if you think I went in the right direction. And on your way to abuse me in the comments, be sure to like this video and subscribe. Check out the merch store, and if you want to support the channel, share these videos. I would appreciate that. It goes a long way. All right, thanks everyone, and I will see you next time.